is famous for its down south country cooking and early American charm. Today we're trying some of the most delicious and iconic food in the heart of Savannah, Georgia. To start our day off, we're heading to one of the most famous spots in Savannah, Forsyth Park. So we are in Forsyth Park right now, and we just got a cappuccino from Cullen's Quarter at Forsyth. It was a pretty busy spot, but luckily we were able to just walk right up and ask for a cappuccino to go. And what's really cool about this cappuccino is they actually took the time to give us some pretty cool coffee art on it, even though it was to go and they were pretty busy. All right, so I have my first sip here. There's a lot of foam on top, and I think they actually give us some cinnamon here too. So it's really creamy and has that kick of espresso for this early Sunday morning. There's nothing better than sitting in the park with a cup of coffee, but I think what has made our morning a little bit better is there have been multiple dogs going after the squirrels in the park, and it is so funny to see them try and sneak up on these squirrels, and they just look like they're having the best time.
Being located on a waterway right near the ocean, Savannah is famous for both its riverwalk and its seafood. To sample some of this, we're heading to a great restaurant along River Street to take in the sights and the tastes.
All right, so we are at the Cotton Exchange. We're right on the river walk in Savannah, which is really cool because we have a window seat here and we can see all of the boats going by, as well as all of the activity from people walking along the river walk. But the first thing we have to try at the Cotton Exchange is their world famous crab chowder, which is really exciting. I don't think I've had actual crab chowder before. I've always had clam chowder, and we were told that this was their #1 bestseller and it's the #1 thing to try here. So I'm gonna give it a whirl. It looks very thick and delicious. That is so amazing. It's actually pretty spicy, which I wasn't expecting at all. Very thick, very chunky, and you can definitely taste the actual crab in there with that little bit of kick. It's delicious. It's so good.
So here we have some fried green tomatoes. I guess this is a pretty classic Southern meal. It comes served with this sauce. I think it's called remoulade sauce. I'm sure I'm butchering that pronunciation, but it looks really good. Almost looks like a spicy mayo. But yeah, these are really lightly battered and it looks like they're a little flaky. I don't know the proper way to eat these. I'm gonna attempt to cut it with a fork and knife here. Yeah, those are green. Holy cow. It's really warm and it's not a sweet batter at all. It's almost like a crispy chicken skin batter you find at like KFC. But it's so refreshing with that green tomato in there. Let's try dipping it in the sauce. It's a really creamy sauce. Almost has a bit of citrus in there, but it's kick it at the end with some spice. It actually pairs really well together. Great dish.
And the other thing that we got with this meal is just a crab cake sandwich, which we always love crab cake sandwiches, so we're excited to try that. But we have quite the spread here. We highly recommend both of these appetizers. They seem to be crowd favorites here. I'm not even like a huge tomato fan, but I absolutely love these fried green tomatoes. I didn't really know what to expect, but it almost tastes like fried chicken, honestly. It's so good.
Next, we're heading to one of Savannah's most iconic shops and one of the best places to grab a cool treat on a hot day, and that's Leopold's Ice Cream Shop.
So we are at Leopold's ice cream shop right now. We waited nearly 44 minutes for this ice cream, but it is the best in Savannah, so we had to come here. We ended up getting a double scoop of the coffee chocolate chip. They had some specialties, but the coffee chocolate chip just sounded so good to us today, so we're gonna have our first bite here. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's almost more custardy than ice cream like. It's super creamy and has the perfect amount of coffee flavoring in there. That's really good.
So in addition to ice cream, Leopold is also famous for their sodas, and they have a couple ones that they use homemade syrups for. So this is one of them. This is, I think, a cherry cola. I believe they put their own special cherry sauce in here. So I'm gonna give it a whirl here. I'm a sucker for sodas. Courtney knows that. So we'll see if this lives up to the taste. Way more cherry than cola. It's really good. Definitely that strong cherry taste, and I wonder if it's the same cherry sauce they put on ice cream. Very cherry and really delicious. This ice cream shop is a pretty unique atmosphere. It's pretty much a mix of like half old-timey ice cream parlor and half Hollywood theme. And I think it's because one of the Leopold brothers' sons actually went to Hollywood and started making movies. And I think all the movie posters here are actually movies that the Leopold brothers actually worked on. Makes a really cool atmosphere.
No trip to Savannah is complete without stopping into one of Savannah's most historic and upscale restaurants, the Old Pink House. Being built in the 1700s, it's packed with history. And while it's recommended to secure reservations a few weeks in advance, there are tables in the basement that are available first come, first serve, but you can still expect a 2-hour wait, so it's best to get here early. We put our name in at 6 o'clock and got a phone call that our table was ready right after 8. The downstairs has a speakeasy feel, with some of the tables being set in old vaults from when this was a bank.
So this place is so cool. It's a pretty fine dining establishment. There's a live pianist playing, and the funniest thing is being in a fancy restaurant, they didn't bring out a thing of bread. They brought out a thing of fresh, warm biscuits, and these things look amazing. So they're really warm and tender to the touch, and they come with butter. Holy moly. They're so pillowy, and the butter has a sweetness to it. I love the South. I love biscuits.
So we are in the basement of the Pink House, and I got some scallops here because we're really excited to try some of the seafood down here in Savannah. So I'm gonna go in for my first bite. You can already tell they are so tender. That wasn't tough at all to cut through. So here we go.
I thought this was chicken.
That's extremely soft, and then the exterior is really pan-seared, so it gives it a nice crust. And the sauce is very buttery, kind of bright, and absolutely amazing. Very happy with this choice.
One thing in the South I've noticed is everything is fried, and what I got is no exception. This is a fried pork chop. So they bread it, batter it, fry it, and it's massive. It comes with some mac and cheese, keeping with the Southern theme, and also some collard greens, which are a classic Southern delicacy. So I'm gonna go for this first bit of fried pork chop here. I've already pre-drizzled with gravy. Oh, it's really crispy. Holy cow. The breading is so crispy. It's almost like a chicken skin. How I do it. That is really good. Go for a collard bite here. I love collard greens. I have them a lot living in Raleigh, but these ones are top notch. They nice acidity to them, almost not quite like a fermented food, but enough that you get that little powerful taste of almost bitterness in there. These are really good collard greens.
To kick off another amazing morning in Savannah, we drove over to the Savannah Starland District, which has some really cool cafes and diners. If you're looking to head over to a hip and artsy part of Savannah, Starland has some great options. So we're in the Starland District right now. This place is known for being pretty hip and trendy, and so we figured we better swing here for a cup of coffee. So currently we're in Perc Coffee shop, but while we're here, we saw that they had a ricotta waffle on the menu, and we just couldn't pass it up because look how pretty this looks. We have arugula, prosciutto. I think there's some sort of like balsamic glaze here, and it also comes with a lemon. So I'm pretty excited for this combination of flavors. I'm gonna give it a go. It's really interesting because you're used to having waffles with syrup, and you still get that sweet syrupy feel with the balsamic glaze, but there's also like that savory and light fresh element coming from the prosciutto and then also the arugula. So it's a really interesting combination. I really like it.
Another spot we're heading to in the downtown area is the Savannah Taphouse. If you're looking for a one-of-a-kind sports bar in a great location, this spot's great. So we're at the Savannah Taphouse. It's a converted movie theater they've turned into a bar here, and I think it's Pittsburgh themed on the inside. We saw a couple Pittsburgh Steelers memorabilia in there, so always great to see some Pittsburgh love on the road. What I've got here, it's a Southern take on the cheeseburger. So they actually put a fried mac and cheese patty on top of the burger patty. So it's almost like two patties here. I think the theme I'm starting to see in the South is most of your favorite things are fried, and it seems like it's served on Texas toast. So let's see, first bite here, if it's even possible to get it in your mouth. Very cheesy. You get the cheese from the burger mixed with the cheese from the mac and cheese patty. Pretty darn good. I can't think of a better Southern take on the hamburger. So here we have another Southern classic. This is fried chicken and mashed potatoes with a Southern twist. So this is sweet tea fried chicken, and I think the chicken itself is marinated in sweet tea. I think also this glaze might have some sweet tea in there too, so I'm really excited to try it. Sweet tea is very common in the South. Really tender chicken. The breading's really light. It's not a very heavy, oily chicken. One thing as I'm working through this chicken, I'm realizing is it's almost like chicken and waffles. The sweetness of the sweet tea is almost like the sweetness you get from syrup. Definitely really sweet chicken. If you're not into sweet food, probably not the best for you, but still pretty tasty. If you have a sweet tooth, you'll need to sample the next thing on our list, and that's a classic Southern treat, the praline. So we're in the city market area. This is a really lively part of the downtown Savannah. Lots of bars and little shops along here. And we came here to pick up a sweet treat that Savannah is known for, and that's the praline. These are candy pecans almost dipped in a caramel sauce, and they come in almost like a big puck. No one really knows the origin of the praline, but Savannah is one of the cities in America that claims to have the title for inventing the praline. So I've actually never had one of these before, so we'll give it a whirl here. It's very soft and crumbly. I kind of expected it to be a hard nut. It's almost chalky the way it kind of melts on your tongue. I don't necessarily know if it's my favorite candy I've had. Might be a little too sweet for me. I think it doesn't have as much full flavor, almost just more of that sugary punch. But if you're into sugar, definitely check one out while you're in Savannah. We picked these up from Savannah's Candy Maker in the city market area. These are just the free sample size. So if you're looking for a free samples to try before you buy, definitely check this place out. If you found this helpful, be sure to check out our upcoming video on the top things to do in Savannah, as well as like this video and hit that subscribe button, which really helps out our channel. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.